Welcome back to Hawkeye Skunk Works. I am Joe, and if you're new to the channel, this is my daily driver 4runner. And even if you're not new to the channel, you may have forgotten about this 4runner, my 02 3rd gen 4runner that needed a motor. But it's okay because I picked it up super cheap and got another motor equally as cheap and got it installed cheap. So we're gonna take it home today and see how it does. I've never actually driven this 4runner except for like around the block at my house, and yeah, fingers crossed it's gonna do okay. We are going to do something that has never been done before. The cheapest 3rd gen Toyota 4runner in the entire country. I bought another 4runner.
Dad, everything is blowing!
And that, my friends, is one of the greatest parts about being here. I would start it up for you guys, but the exhaust is not fantastic, so it's loud, and it is still running kind of rough, which we can talk about later. It's not a big deal, so let's hop in, start it up, and get driving home. All right, so we're about, I don't know, 10 minutes down the road. It's doing good. Yes, it's running really rough. It hasn't died, but I've been popping it into neutral at stoplights and then just keeping the revs up. When it revs up and like is running, yeah, it's a little motorcycle. It's a little rough, and the exhaust is super loud, but the engine itself is like super smooth. Sorry for the wind noise. I have the windows down because I've noticed that the temp gauge is not working. I'm guessing it's probably a sensor or maybe a wire that's not hooked up. So I have the heat going full blast just to make sure we don't have any heating issues, even though it is rather chilly outside. But we do have check engine light, ABS, brake, and the traction control light on, which from my research before I had the motor switched in this thing, that seems to be pretty normal. If your one light comes on, they're all coming on. So again, we'll get the scanner hooked up to it when I get home and check things out. If I had to guess, there could be some vacuum leaks. It could be a bad MAF sensor, which as much as the intake has been taken on and off of this thing, trying to get fixed, I would imagine there's a very good possibility that the MAF has been damaged. Or I do know that with these 3.4 liter engines, they can be picky on spark plugs, and I'm fairly certain this one does not have the Toyota dual ground, dual prong spark plugs in it, so it may be unhappy about that. But we'll get things sorted through. Yeah, it's driving really well. The steering wheel is a little crooked. I think it needs an alignment from seeing some of the work that's been done underneath it, and I know I got a front tire that's not fantastic, so that could be part of it. But I'm not getting any shaking. It's tracking straight, other than the steering wheel being crooked, and it still doesn't smell fantastic in here. A few things you guys might find relevant if you are considering changing the motor in your 3rd gen 4runner. This is an 02, and the engine that I got was from I believe it was a 97. And now all of these 4-wheel drive 3rd gen 4runners use the 3.4 liter, was it the 3JZXYZH4? I don't know. There's a code for it that all the Toyota guys know, and I don't know. Anyway, yes, they put the 22RE in some of these, but we're not talking about that. The 3.4 liter. I knew that there was some differences on the throttle body setup just from looking at the two that I had, and I told the guy that did the work I was probably going to need to you were probably going to need to change that because there's some like sensors and vacuum stuff that wasn't the same. I can confirm with you there was some stuff that was different, and what he did, which turned out to be the easiest thing, was he just unbolted the whole intake, everything, and swapped intakes, and that part was a direct bolt over, and the install was fine. Also, the exhaust manifold Y-pipe situation was different, so he ended up having to take the exhaust manifolds off of my junk motor with its Y-pipe, downpipe setup off and put it onto this good motor. So intake arrangement, some of it was different. It was easier to swap the whole thing, and the exhaust manifold slash Y-pipe had to be swapped over. Other than that, the install apparently was fairly straightforward and pretty easy, other than trying to finagle the engine out of the engine bay, which is kind of the case with every vehicle. Well, we made it. We got home right here, and up until like the second to last stoplight before I got home, it didn't smoke or do anything. It's got a heater hose, it's got a crack in it, and all the way through town traffic and stuff, it didn't smoke. And then the crack, and then it's got one of the old school heater hoses on it, which is not super, or the clamps, the tension clamps is not real tight. Anyway, it drove really, really well. I completely understand the appeal of these. This is really the only, like, the second time that I've driven a third gen for any amount of time that wasn't like completely falling apart, like the video I did where we took the red one to the junkyard. But yeah, now it's just time to sort out a few of the check engine light and stuff, and then just detail the heck out of it, because it still smells like cigarettes. And nothing against smokers, again, I just don't like the smell of it in my cars. And it's dirty, really dirty, but I think with the steam cleaning and some shampooing, it'll all come together really well. So yeah, got to get a couple tires for it, and then probably go up for sale. So it would be nice to build a third gen, but it's just not on the agenda right now, so unfortunately. Anyway, we'll go ahead and wrap this video up. If you don't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I would appreciate that. Turn the notifications on so you can be notified when I drop a video. Check out the links down below for my Instagram and my Facebook. Post over there all the time, as usual. And comments, questions, leave those down below. Email me, hawkeyeskunkworks@gmail.com. Until next time, there's either going to be a little desktop review of some gear or a 4th gen video. Yeah, I think that's what it'll be. So, thank you for watching. Take care. Goodbye.